Hi everyone, and welcome to part 2 of my review on the ResMed AirFit F20. Now, I appreciate you guys' patience as I took a little bit of time over the holidays to take some trips and things like that. So it's been a little bit of time since I've been able to get back here to do the second part of the review. But I also wanted to give a little bit of time until I actually gave the review to be able to use it and see how it does on a night-to-night basis over the course of many nights. So I think it's been about 2.5 weeks since I did my original review, and I just wanted to give my impression. I've gotten a few comments, and I appreciate the views and the comments on the previous video. If you want to check out the original review, click right here, and you can watch that because this is going to be the second part of that. One thing I've been getting in the comments that people have been asking me is how does it stack up against your previous mask? And that previous mask was the Fisher and Paykel Simplus full face mask. That was kind of the gold standard of full face mask. If you had a high air concentration like I do, I think it's about 20 to 25 pressure. I don't know what the measurement is on pressure, but I just know that that's the number. It's on the high end range of what you can have. A big concern that a lot of people have with that is, does the mask seal well, and does it make noise? How does it do when you move around? So I just wanted to give my impressions now of how the F20 has been doing with that. So I will say right off the bat that the F20 has a much better seal. I know that's the main thing that people with full face masks they look for and they're concerned about. And so I will say that the seal seals my face for about 95% of the time. And that's up from around 70-ish% with the Simplus. Thinking about all the times that I'm awake and that I know of, and plus what my wife has told me even when I'm asleep. So this percentage, roughly what my perception is. So it's a much, much higher percentage. That has definitely not been a disappointment. I've been very excited because it has allowed me to do a few other things, which I'll go into in just a second. So because of the better seal, it's been quieter. And one side effect that I didn't really think of, and I compared the two masks. I had the both medium size, medium in the Simplus and then medium in the AirFit F20, and they seem to be about the same size, although for some reason the F20 seems to keep my mouth shut a little bit better, and that could be because it seals better or simply because it's different underneath my lip bottom area near my chin. I don't really know, but the good thing about that is I'm getting less air that I'm swallowing every night, so I'm not feeling so bloated when I wake up in the morning, and that can be kind of uncomfortable sometimes. So it's been kind of nice to not have to worry about that as much either. And my wife has told me she's been sleeping much better as a side effect of all of these things. She has not woken up hardly any since I've had the mask over the last couple of weeks. So that's been a really big plus. You don't want to wake your loved ones up while you're sleeping if that's something that you have to deal with, especially if you have a high pressure and the thing comes undone or leaks or whatever. It can be really loud and disruptive to not only yourself but your partner. So that's a really big plus. And one thing I didn't think about either when I went into this mask, obviously hoping that it would seal better, is because it seals better, not only with the way I used to lay, which was on my right side. Sometimes with the Simplus, I would hold the mask with my left hand, and that's just kind of the habit I got into. And it was so nice to not have to do that with the new AirFit F20 because I'm able to not only have a better seal in that position, but also I'm able to move around a little bit. So I've actually been able to sleep on my left side and my right side, and that's been a really big plus because sometimes when I would sleep in that one position, my right arm, particularly my elbow up to my shoulder, would sometimes get a little bit sore, especially having to sleep in the same exact position every single night. But having this mask seal is the most important thing. So I would kind of sacrifice that to be able to have a full night's sleep. So it's nice to not have to worry about that. So not only am I not having to prop myself up in that particular position on my right side anymore, but I'm also able to turn over and roll over on my left side a little bit, and that's really nice as well. There are a couple of things that I would say aren't quite as good as the Sim Plus. One of those things is the air blowing directly out of the mask. So when you have the mask on, it's going to blow directly out from your mouth rather than up through your nose bridge, which is how the Sim Plus was designed. It gets a little bit sometimes annoying if you're trying to position yourself, if you're a side sleeper like I am, having it blow against the pillow. I wouldn't say it's very annoying too bad in that sense, but I will say sometimes when I turn toward my wife, it will blow air in her direction and sometimes bother her. So I have to be mindful of the direction of my head and my neck. You just have to be mindful of that. It's just something to get used to, and it's in particular, I'm comparing it with the previous Simplus mask. You may have a mask right now that not even a difference in your case. So I will also say that the straps and the magnetic clips have been really good for the most part. As I've worn the mask longer and trying to get that perfect fit for your head and my head, I will say that I've gotten a little bit tighter, and there's been a couple of nights where it's irritated my neck, but I also had that irritation with the Simplus, and I think it's just a matter of getting the right fit and staying with it for a while, and eventually your skin kind of gets used to that position, and the irritation goes away after a little bit. Now, one of the things I do like about the F20 though, while on that topic, is that it has less straps, less to deal with Velcro wise. So it's actually pretty nice to have it simpler. So, as far as the AirFit F20 goes, I give it 2 big thumbs up. If you're looking for a mask that seals well, especially if you're worried about a high pressure like I have with my BiPAP machine, I really, really can't endorse it enough. It's better than the best that I had before, which was the Sim Plus. I've tried a lot of masks over the couple of years that I've had my machine, and it just seems to work better than any other one I've tried. And maybe you have the luxury of not worrying about as high of a pressure, and there might be more masks that work for you, and there's different masks that work for different people. But I have a feeling that this mask is going to really sweep the reviews, and people are really going to enjoy this mask a lot as more people discover it. I appreciate you watching today. I'd love a thumbs up, and if you'd like to subscribe, feel free. I don't know when the next time I'll be doing a new video, and I do a variety of different videos on my channel here. Thank you, and have a great new year.